What's up everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Mark, thank you for stopping by. You're watching Trading with a Dummy, and today we're working on a segment called, wait for it, Homework with a Dummy. I'm gonna go over my setup on what I use and the indicators that I use to get in trades. So without further ado, as you guys know, if you're brand new, subscribe, share, like, the whole thing. Let's just get straight into it. So we're on my computer right now. I'm using Thinkorswim once again. Sorry if you are an e-trader. My channel is really not catered to the E-Trade platform yet because I'm just not very familiar with the platform. I have it, but I don't use it often. So what I do use is my Thinkorswim TOS platform. So we're on my computer. We got my Thinkorswim platform up. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you go over to the chart tab. Click on the charts. Today we're going to use FedEx. The reason why I'm using FedEx is because I'm actually thinking about potentially getting into a FedEx play for seasonality purposes. So you want to type in your ticker right here, and then you want to move over to the right and click on the time frame and make sure that you are on the 1 year, 1 day. Again, 1 year, 1 day time frame, and then you are good to go. You're set up at that point. Now, the first indicator that I'm going to utilize is the RSI. So you're going to go over to the Studies tab, click on the Studies tab, click Edit Studies. You can also actually, hold on, cancel this real quick. You can actually just go over and add studies as well. I prefer just to do Edit Studies, that way I can just type in what I'm looking for. So you can click on Edit Studies. RSI is the first one I'm going to add. Click Add to Select. Click Apply and click OK. And now your RSI is right here at the bottom below your chart. So as you know, anything above 70 is considered overbought. Anything below 30 is considered oversold. I like to buy in areas that are oversold if it's a good company and has good technicals. Second study I want to add is ATR. That way I have an idea of the average true range of this stock. Again, click Add to Select. By the ways, you can take this and move it up and down, up and down. If you want to put it above the RSI, you can. You just got to drag and drop it. But we're going to put it below, actually we're going to put it above the RSI. All right, so it's above. I'm going to leave the parameters the same. Click OK. And now you see your ATR that's right there above the RSI. So I'm aware that at 5.0 is the on average true range that it moves. Next one that we want to use, and this is my favorite one. Again, click on Studies, Edit Studies, type in TTM, and you're going to click the Squeeze one, TTM Squeeze. Click Add Select, Apply, click OK. And now you have your TTM Squeeze. Basically, the light blue means buyers are in control. Dark blue means the buyers are slowly fading away. Red, when it's below, obviously pointing downward, means sellers are in control. And there's a lot of sellers in play. Once it turns yellow, it means that sellers are slowly disappearing. And then obviously the green line means there's a lot of volume. Red line means there's not a lot of action going on. Green, it's busy. So this is my basic setup. Honestly, right here, you could probably stop because this is a good enough information depending on what you use for your supply and demand. If you're like using moving average, there's some additional stuff that you can add on to it, but you can basically stop here if you wanted to. So the next study that I want to add on here are some drawings. So the first one I want to add is going to be the Bollinger Band. Again, I'm going to leave everything how it is. Click Apply and click OK. Now you have your Bollinger Bands here. The one thing I like to do is remove the middle line. So I typically right click this area, click Edit Studies, and then I go down, and the mid line, I don't want that to show. So now it disappeared, as you can see here in the background. I also like to keep my lower and upper bands the same color. So I'm going to use this whitish looking color for both upper and lower bands. I click Apply and click OK, and now I have an idea where it stands when it comes to the Bollinger Band. Just real quick, this is a tip. The Bollinger Band is probably the easiest indicator that you can use to have an idea where the supply and demand is at, because as you can see, like let's go over here, for example, to the end. Buyers came in, it ran up, it stepped out of the Bollinger Band, and then came back in, it stepped out, came back in, went down, sold off, came outside of the Bollinger Band at the lower band, and came back in, and then kind of stayed true to riding the low part of the Bollinger Band. And as you can see, typically when it falls out of the Bollinger Band, either outside of it on the lower or upper band, it will retreat back in. So I like to use the Bollinger Band for that. But again, remember, all these indicators are delayed. There's no actual indicator that I'm aware of, at least, that gives you like real-time footage. All this stuff is delayed because it's all based upon the previous candle once it's created. All right, the next one I want to add, let me zoom out a little bit. I'm gonna add 3 moving averages. Again, edit studies, moving averages. I'm gonna use an exponential one. I'm gonna add 3 of those, 1, 2, and 3. Now with the first one, I do wanna change a few of the parameters here. You wanna click on the gear, and the first one, I want it to be the 50-day. A lot of people like the 50-day. I kind of have it up there just so I have an idea. Click OK, click apply. And as you can see, typically if it's riding the 50-day above, it's the buyer's territory. Once it breaks below, it's seller's territory. A lot of people like to use the 50-day. I have it up just for reference. Let's go back to my studies. The second one that I want to adjust is this one. Again, click on the gear. I want to change this one to 72-day moving average. And we can keep that color. Change it whatever color you want. I'm going to keep it at this color. And then the third one, I am going to click on the gear once again, and it's going to be a 200-day EMA. And that one I'm going to keep as red. Click OK and click apply. So the reason why I like these, and typically I execute on the 72 or the 200-day EMA, and typically it bounces off. Sometimes it breaks below, like this one, it broke below quite a bit and then fell. So it's not 100% foolproof, of course, but typically, like if you go to Apple, for example, you'll probably see that it stays very true to the 200-day EMA. There you go. As you can see, for the whole year, the Apple stock has never actually touched a 200-day EMA. It's come close to it, but it's never touched a 200-day EMA. It has touched a 72-day EMA, but it has not touched a 200-day EMA. So best believe if it ever does touch the 200-day EMA, I already got orders sitting there pending because I want to enter. I'm most likely going to enter around the 136 because I'm not sure if it's really going to hit the 200-day EMA or not. But if it does, load the boat. If you don't own that specific shares in Apple, a good time to have bought in, of course, was at the 143, which is not bad. I know it's dipped below that, but like I said, the 200-day EMA is where I feel comfortable for the most part. Let's go back to FedEx. So this is basically really essentially my entire setup. This is all that I use. So the good thing is this, you can actually save your settings. That way you can have multiple different setups and how you want to utilize it. So the only thing you have to do is go over to these little 3 lines over here in the corner, click on it, go to studies, and then you want to click save study set. And we're just going to type in test, click save. And now if you ever want to remove your studies, you can remove them all. And let's say you just need to kind of look at where the supply and demand is, right here, or whatever. You can draw your lines, whatever. But let's say you're like, oh, you know what? I want to see what this stock is doing right now. Let's go to another one. Let's go to FICO. Now, FICO didn't work out for me, just so y'all know. FICO definitely hit the 200-day EMA, but I made a mistake. I'm going to tell you guys why. So let's put up the studies. As I said, I already have it saved. So you go under the load study set test and you just click on it since it's saved, and all the indicators will pop up on there for you. So initially, where I messed up on is that I waited for FICO to hit the 200-day EMA, didn't hesitate, executed around 485, and then it kept dropping. I got nervous, but I was like, you know what, I'm in shares. But it dropped all the way down to around the 440s, And had I really paid attention and went to like the 5-year mark, 5-year 1 day, and looked at where it kind of bounced off, 445 was actually a support level. As you can see right here. This was a support level. So had I paid attention, look left, because you always want to look left first before you do anything else. Had I looked, I would have known that, okay, this isn't a support level. I probably shouldn't buy the 200-day EMA. Plus, it didn't even bounce off of it, so there was no indication that it was going to reverse and go up. It broke through the 200-day EMA and kept going down. I wish I had just looked left more, and then I would have seen that, oh, okay, 440 was a good entry, and if it couldn't hold 440, then I should probably cut my losses. But as you can see, it initially hit the 440, the 440 area, bounced off, went to the upside for a second, hit that 471, and then retraced back down, hit the 440 area once again. Had I paid attention to my ATR, I could have put a stop right here saying that if it broke below 430, my shares would have sold off, but I didn't set that up. It hit it and it kept going all the way down, which is now again at one of its other support levels. If I mark it right here, and if we look left, look at that. That's the other support level. Touch, touch, and touched. And of course it bounced off of it, came down, touched it again, and is now moving upwards. It looks like it's moving upwards again, but now I'm kind of stuck with all these shares in FICO because I made a mistake and didn't look left. So you always want to look left first before you even execute. So the things that I do first when I get into a position, I have a watch list full of stocks that I'm watching that I just do research on and whatnot. And so the first thing I want to do is look up the stock. Now FICO, it's overall a good company, right? Everyone utilizes it when it comes to credit checks. So I knew it was a solid company. If you even zoom out all the way to the 10-year mark, you can see it's been an upward trend. Yeah, it's had its dips here. Let me go over movie studies again real quick. So if you look, for the most part, it's been an upward trend. It has broken those trends every once in a while. Obviously, this was during the pandemic, COVID. Had to pull back here and then went back up, hit up, hit up, and then broke down. Now it's at its other support level. Hopefully it doesn't break this one because that drop could be kind of harsh. The next one will probably be on 364, and then below that it's gonna look kind of ugly. So, but right now I'm holding it with diamond hands. Okay, I'm holding it with diamond hands right now. Secondly, you want to look up and see if there's any bad news associated with this stock. Why did it sell off? Were the earnings bad? Or was it just profit taking? Are they being sued? Did they do something that was like illegal? You want to look into that and see why was there such a massive sell off. Then you want to put up your indicators, the TTM Squeeze, the ATR, as well as the RSI. If it's oversold, that's a good sign. If the TTM Squeeze is showing yellow, it means that the sellers are slowly disappearing. And then you also want to look left to make sure that it's at a support or resistance level first before you enter it. And then if all those things align and you feel comfortable, then by all means execute. And then set your stop limit as well in case it does go against you. That's what you can use the ATR for. If you're unfamiliar with the average true range, there's a bunch of YouTube videos out there. You can go ahead and do some research. It's a great tool, kind of helps you a little bit, especially with your stop limit. But that was pretty much it, y'all. That's my setup. That's what I use for the most part. I mostly, honestly, I like to trade on supply and demand, but I use these indicators after I find this supply and demand zones to see, you know, how the stock is doing, if I want to enter or not. Like I said, I'm eyeing FedEx right now. It's not moving very well, but Christmas is coming up. I definitely think there's going to be a retrace to the upside, at least back to 250 is what I'm looking at. But until then, You know, I'm gonna keep an eye on it until I see some sort of indication that it's actually gonna move to the upside, because it's still right now in the oversold territory and sellers are still in control right now, even though they're slowly disappearing. But that was it, y'all. My name is Mark. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was Homework with a Dummy. Share this with a friend and family if you think they can benefit from it. Until next time, y'all. Deuces.